of the Imitation of Christ by Thomas à Kempis. Book 3 of Interior Consolation. Chapter 58 of Not Searching into High Matters, nor into the Secret Judgments of God. Son, take heed thou dispute not about high matters, nor about the hidden judgments of God. Why this man is left thus, and that other is raised to so great grace, or why this person is so much afflicted, and that other so highly exalted. These things exceed any power of man, neither is any reason or discourse able to trace out the judgments of God. When therefore the enemy suggests to thee these things, or thou hearest curious men inquiring into them, give answer in the words of the prophet, Thou art just, O Lord, and thy judgment is right. And again, the judgments of the Lord are true, justified in themselves. My judgments are to be feared, not to be searched into, for they are incomprehensible to human understanding. Moreover, inquire thou not, nor dispute concerning the merits of the saints, which of them is more holy than the other, or which the greater in the kingdom of heaven. These things oftentimes breed strifes and unprofitable contentions, and nourish pride and vain glory, whence arise envy and dissensions, whilst one man proudly seeks to exalt this saint, and another man another. Now to desire to know, and to search into such things as these, yields no fruit, but rather displeases the saints. For I am not the God of dissension, but of peace, which peace consists more in true humility than in exalting self. Some are drawn by a zeal of love towards these saints or those with greater affection, but with affection rather human than divine. I am he who made all the saints. I gave them grace. I have bestowed upon them glory. I know the merits of each. I prevented them by the blessings of my sweetness. I foreknew my beloved before the ages. I chose them out of the world. It was not they who first chose me. I called them by grace, and drew them to me by mercy. I led them through many temptations. I poured into their hearts marvelous consolations. I gave them perseverance. I have crowned their patience. I know the first and the last. I embrace all with an inestimable love. I am to be praised in all my saints. I am to be blessed above all things, and to be honored in each one of them, whom I have thus gloriously magnified and predestined, without any foregoing merits of their own. He, therefore, who despises one of the least of my saints, honors not him who is great, for I have made both small and great. And he who derogates from any one of the saints derogates also from me, and from all others in the kingdom of heaven. They are all one through the bond of love. They have the same sentiments, the same will, and all love each other as one. And moreover, what is much higher, they all love me more than themselves and their own merits. For having been carried up above themselves, and drawn out of the love of themselves, they are wholly set on the love of me, in whom also they rest with enjoyment. There is nothing which can divert them from me or lower their rank. For, being full of the eternal truth, they burn with the fire of a charity which cannot be extinguished. Therefore let carnal and sensual men forbear to dispute the state of the saints, for they know not how to love any thing but their own delights. They add and take away according to their own inclination, not according to what is pleasing to eternal truth. In many there is ignorance, especially in such as, being but little enlightened, seldom know how to love any one with a perfect spiritual love. They are as yet much drawn towards such or such by a natural affection and human friendship. And as they are affected with regard to things below, so they form their ideas of the things of heaven. But there is an incomparable distance between what the imperfect imagine and what enlightened men contemplate by revelation from above. Take heed, therefore, my son, that thou treat not curiously of these things which exceed thy knowledge, but rather make it thy business and thy aim, that thou should be found even the least in the kingdom of God. Even if any one should know who were more holy, or held to be greater in the kingdom of heaven, what would this knowledge profit him, unless he would take occasion from knowing this to humble himself in my sight, and rise up to a greater praise of my name? He does what is far more pleasing to God, who thinks of the greatness of his own sins, and the littleness of his own virtues. And how far is he who disputes about their greatness or smallness from the perfection of the saints? It is better to invoke the saints with devout prayers and tears, and to implore their glorious suffrages with a humble mind, than by a vain inquiry to search into their secrets. They are well, yea, perfectly contented, if men would be but contented, and would refrain from their vain discourses. They glory not in their own merits, for they ascribe nothing of goodness to themselves, but all to me, because I bestowed all upon them out of my infinite charity. They are filled with so great a love of the divinity, and with such overflowing joy, that there is nothing lacking to their glory, nor can any happiness be lacking to them. All the saints, the higher they are in glory, the more humble are they in themselves, and the nearer to me, and the better beloved by me. And therefore thou hast it written, that they cast their crowns before God, and fell on their faces before the Lamb, and adored him who liveth for ever and ever. Many inquire who is the greater in the kingdom of God. when they know not whether they shall be worthy to be numbered among the least? It is a great matter to be even the least in heaven, where all are great, because all shall be called and shall be the children of God. The least shall be as 1,000, and the sinner of 100 years shall die. For when the disciples asked who was greater in the kingdom of heaven, they received this answer: Except ye be converted, and become as little children, ye shall not enter into the kingdom of heaven. Whosoever therefore shall humble himself as this little child, he is the greater in the kingdom of heaven. Woe to them who disdain to humble themselves with the little children, for the low gate of the heavenly kingdom will not allow them to enter. Woe also to the rich who have their consolations here, for when the poor shall go into the kingdom of God, they shall stand without lamenting. Rejoice, ye who are humble, and be glad, ye who are poor, for yours is the kingdom of God, if indeed ye walk in truth. And that concludes Chapter 58 of Book 3 of the Imitation of Christ.